The House thanks the third speaker of the proposition. Now calls upon the third speaker of the opposition.
The ability of the proposition to have this catastrophic evidence of stem cell research and the availability and debating method is quite appalling. But ladies and gentlemen, this debate was very messy and disappointing. I really felt that the proposition were merely reciting what Richard had told me 2 hours ago, ladies and gentlemen, instead of really engaging with us in today's debate. And we feel that, ladies and gentlemen, this debate should have been about whether or not the ends do justify the means and whether or not stem cell research should be supported. But amid all of how much we heard from the proposition, we were able to identify 3 fundamental lines of argumentation. The first being the benefits and utility, ladies and gentlemen, that they would derive from stem cell research, the cost of innovation, ladies and gentlemen, and a government that's consequential as in its views. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with the first point, the benefits. Now, in today's debate, we've heard 2 things are certain. One, that for stem cell research to actually take place, a baby needs to die. And the second, that from stem cell research, we would possibly gain benefits, ladies and gentlemen. So one thing is certain, a baby has to die. And the second thing is uncertain. We might or we might not, ladies and gentlemen, derive any benefits from the stem cell research. So, ladies and gentlemen, we can't buy into this argument of benefit and utility. But furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, they needed to prove to us that a baby dying is tantamount is a price we're willing to pay for the potential benefits of improving our medicine, ladies and gentlemen. A fundamental job they fail to do. So we really see they fail to fulfill their basic mandate, and their point of benefits and utility wasn't really a strong benefit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we also heard this line of argument that there's a cost of innovation. Well, I stand here 30 minutes after the first speaker opened up the statement, they opened up the team's line of argument. And all we've heard on this line of argument is that the cost of innovation is an embryo, a zygote, or a fetus, ladies and gentlemen, all tantamount to a human life. So, ladies and gentlemen, it all boils down to a human life. So why is this harm to this cost too high for us to pay? Well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, there is a harm that is, for example, ladies and gentlemen, an embryo and a zygote and a fetus all end up being a baby, and babies to have rights, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly why they're on pure IAP, ladies and gentlemen, because when they were babies, they had rights, tantamount to the rights they have now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we feel that the first speaker came up here and stated, look, he gave us a brilliant abortion speech and stated how we're just using aborted fetuses, ladies and gentlemen. And then the second speaker came up here and stated that it doesn't really matter whether we're using aborted fetuses or whether we're using live babies, ladies and gentlemen. We see that there's confusion amongst the ranks, and they should be listening to what each other is saying, ladies and gentlemen, instead of telling us to listen to one another. We furthermore see that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're saying we're going to be implementing stem cell research on children, we have a problem with that. And they haven't proven to us why we should support this line of argument. But furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, the last line of argument we had from them was this consequentialist argument from government, a government that supports an immoral act. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to quote, people's petty religious beliefs, Rita, the first speaker of the proposition. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Exhibit A of why government should not support immoral acts. Now, what is government? What's government's fundamental job and what's government's fundamental role? Well, we say government is there to set as an example of what is morally acceptable in society. And we see that there's a direct contradiction, ladies and gentlemen, and in conflict of interest when you have a government that's supposed to be setting an example of what's morally acceptable in society, advocating for something that they themselves have labeled immoral, ladies and gentlemen. So we see that we don't have any feasible argumentation from the proposition, and we see that the proposition should have lost on their opening quote statement, ladies and gentlemen. They've been irrelevant in today's debate. But furthermore, ladies and gentlemen, the proposition aren't in any incest to give me pure eyes. So we see that their silence is actually consent and we agree with everything I'm saying. So furthermore, why don't we want a government that is consequentialist? Well, First of all, this leads to a disenfranchisement of many of the people, ladies and gentlemen. For example, religious people, religious groups, and people, moral groups, they will be disenfranchised from a government that supports immoral acts. And we say the government is there to represent everyone, ladies and gentlemen, not to subservient the rights of the few people, just for potential benefits. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we can't find what the proposition has told us. But what have the opposition, more dominant and more relevant side told us in today's debate? Well, my first and second speaker gave you an eloquent speeches on the deontological side of this and why the ends don't justify the means, ladies and gentlemen. They show you why the rest of a human life outweighs all the potential benefits, ladies and gentlemen. And they also show you that for us to buy into this argument of benefits, ladies and gentlemen, they have to show us that the knowledge that they derive from this stem cell research would actually be used for a beneficial manner in society, ladies and gentlemen. All of these things they fail to do. So you have a proposition that failed to fulfill its basic mandate in today's debate. And you have an opposition that's been clashing with a far less inadequate side, ladies and gentlemen. And for these reasons, there can only be one winner, and that's the opposition.